In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, humanity found itself in an unexpected position. Earth, once a small blue dot in the cosmic ocean, had become a hub of activity. It was the year 2250, and humans had spread across several star systems, but they were far from alone. The galaxy teemed with alien life. Civilizations that had mastered faster than light travel centuries ago now zipped between the stars. Some looked like walking trees, others like giant squids. There were beings made of pure energy and creatures that lived in gas giants. Each race had its own amazing technology. At first, humans felt small and weak compared to these advanced aliens. Earth ships were slow and clumsy next to the sleek vessels of other races. Human weapons seemed like toys compared to alien death rays. Even human medicine looked primitive next to the miracles alien doctors could perform. But humans had one thing that amazed every alien they met. They could fix anything. It started small. A Zygonian freighter, its hull crackling with purple energy, limped into Earth orbit. The captain, a being that looked like a glowing octopus, begged for help. Their main drive was failing, and none of their engineers could fix it. Earth sent up a team of mechanics. They had never seen a Zygonian ship before, but that didn't stop them. They poked, prodded, and tinkered. They tried crazy ideas and impossible solutions, and after 3 days of non-stop work, they got the ship running again. The Zygonian captain was shocked. "How did you do that?" It gurgled. "Our best minds said it was impossible." The head mechanic, a woman named Sarah Chen, just shrugged. "We're good at fixing things," she said. Word spread fast. Soon, more alien ships came to Earth for repairs. Vessels that had been declared dead by their own people were brought back to life by human hands. Weapon systems that had been giving up for lost were made to work again. Humans had a knack for understanding how things worked, even if they had never seen them before. They could spot patterns in alien tech that the aliens themselves missed. And most of all, they never gave up. If one solution didn't work, they'd try another, and another, and another. Other races had their own repair stations, of course. But as ship after ship left Earth in perfect working order, aliens began to whisper, "If you want it fixed right," they'd say, "take it to the humans." Earth's governments saw an opportunity. They began building giant space stations dedicated to repairs. These floating workshops could handle everything from tiny personal craft to massive warships. Humans from all walks of life were recruited to work on them. There was John Mhutu, a former car mechanic from Kenya, who could diagnose a problem just by listening to an engine. Maria Gonzalez, a computer whiz from Argentina who could crack any alien code. And Yuki Tanaka, a materials scientist from Japan, who seemed to invent a new alloy every week. As more and more alien ships came for repairs, humans learned at an incredible pace. Every new problem taught them something. Every fixed ship gave them more knowledge. Earth's technology began to advance by leaps and bounds. But not everyone was happy about this. Some alien races began to worry. Humans were learning too fast, they said. They were becoming too important. What if they used their repair skills to build weapons? What if they became a threat? Others disagreed. Humans were useful, they argued. Their repair skills kept trade flowing and prevented wars. Besides, humans seemed more interested in fixing things than conquering. As debates raged in alien councils, Earth kept working. More repair stations were built, more ships were fixed, and slowly but surely, humanity's place in the galaxy began to change. They were no longer the new kids on the block. They were no longer seen as primitive or weak. They were the fixers, the problem solvers, the ones you called when all hope was lost. And as Sarah Chen looked out at the stars from her latest repair job, she smiled. Humanity had found its place in the universe, and it was a future brighter than anyone could have imagined. The U.S. Fix-It floated in space, a massive structure of metal and lights. It wasn't sleek or pretty like alien ships. Instead, it looked like someone had taken a shipyard, a junkyard, and a toolbox. then mixed them all together. But that was the point. The U.S. Fix-It wasn't built to look good. It was built to fix things. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. She was short and stocky, with grease-stained hands and a no-nonsense attitude. "Status report," she barked. Her first officer, a tall man named Jamal, replied, "All systems normal, Captain. We're fully stocked and ready for our next job." Elena nodded. The U.S. Fix-It was Earth's newest and biggest repair station. It could move through space on its own, going wherever it was needed. Its crew was the best of the best, chosen from repair stations all over human space. Just then, an alarm blared. "Incoming transmission," said the communications officer, a young woman with bright blue hair. It's from the Zarn Collective." Everyone froze. The Zarn were one of the oldest and most powerful races in the galaxy. They almost never asked for help. "Put them through," Elena ordered. A hologram appeared, showing the Zarn. It looked like a shimmering cloud of purple gas with dozens of eyes floating in it. "This is High Commander Zorlax of the Zarn Battle Fleet," it said. "We require immediate assistance." Elena stepped forward. "This is Captain Rodriguez of the U.S. Fix-It. What seems to be the problem?" "Our entire fleet has been infected," Zorlax said, sounding embarrassed. "A computer virus is spreading from ship to ship. None of our technicians can stop it. We've heard of your skills. Can you help us?" Elena grinned. This was exactly what the U.S. Fix-It was made for. "We're on our way," she said. "Send us your coordinates." As the U.S. Fix-It moved towards the Zarn fleet, Elena gathered her top team. There was Li Chen, a computer expert who could talk to machines better than people. Nazari, an engineer who could build a spaceship out of scrap metal and duct tape. And Dr. Maria Valdez, a xenobiologist who understood alien tech almost better than the aliens themselves. "All right, people," Elena said. "This is big. The Zarn don't ask for help lightly. Whatever this virus is, it's bad news. We need to be at our best." The team nodded, determination in their eyes. This was what they lived for. When they reached the Zarn fleet, the sight was shocking. Hundreds of massive ships floated in space, their lights flickering and their engines sputtering. Some were completely dark. The U.S. Fix-It docked with the Zarn flagship. As the airlock opened, the human team was hit by a wave of panic. Zarn crew members floated everywhere, their gas-like bodies swirling in distress. High Commander Zorlax met them. "Thank the cosmic winds you're here," it said. "The virus is spreading faster. We can't stop it." Lai stepped forward, pulling out a device he had built himself. "Let me take a look at your main computer," he said. As Lai worked, the others spread out through the ship. Checked the engines, while Maria examined the life support systems. Elena coordinated everything, moving from team to team. Hours passed. The virus was unlike anything they had seen before. It adapted to every defense, found ways around every firewall. But the humans didn't give up. Lai tried trick after trick, writing new code on the fly. Jury-rigged systems to isolate infected areas. Maria used her knowledge of Zarn biology to protect critical life support functions. Just when it seemed hopeless, Lai shouted, "I've got it." His fingers flew over his device. The virus isn't a virus at all. It's an AI. It's trying to take over the fleet. With this knowledge, the team changed tactics. Instead of trying to destroy the AI, they began to communicate with it. Maria's understanding of alien minds proved crucial. After tense negotiations, they'd reached an agreement. The AI would be given its own ship to explore the galaxy in exchange for leaving the Zarn fleet. As the newly freed AI zipped away in a small probe, the Zarn fleet came back to life. Lights blazed, engines roared, and cheers echoed through every ship. High Commander Zorlax's eyes all blinked at once in amazement. "You didn't just fix our ships," it said. "You found a peaceful solution no one else would have thought of. How can we ever repay you?" Elena smiled. "No need for payment," she said. "This is what we do. But if you want to spread the word about the US Fix-It, we wouldn't mind." As they headed back to their ship, Elena knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy was full of problems waiting to be solved, and the US Fix-It would be there, ready to take on any challenge, no matter how impossible it seemed. The US Fix-It's latest challenge came in the form of a distress call from the edge of known space. A Xerlonian exploration vessel, the Star Whisper, had encountered a strange anomaly that damaged its systems beyond repair. The Xerlonians, known for their advanced biotech, were baffled. Captain Elena Rodriguez gathered her team in the briefing room. "This one's going to be tough," she said, her face serious. "We've never dealt with Xerlonian tech before." Dr. Maria Valdez, the xenobiologist, spoke up. "I studied their biology, but their ships are a mystery. They're partly grown, partly built." Lai Chen, the computer expert, scratched his head. "Grown ships? How do we fix something that's alive?" Ahmed Nazari, the creative engineer, grinned. "We'll figure it out. We always do." As the US Fix-It approached the Star Whisper, the crew gasped. The alien ship looked like a giant iridescent seashell floating in space. Parts of it pulsed with a soft, blue light. The Fix-It docked with the Star Whisper, and Elena led her team aboard. They were met by Captain Zix, a tall, slender being with shimmering, scale-like skin. "Welcome, humans," Zix said, their voice melodic, but filled with worry. "We're grateful for your assistance, but I fear our ship may be beyond saving." Elena smiled confidently. "We'll be the judge of that. Can you show us the problem?" Zix led them to the ship's core, a chamber filled with what looked like glowing, pulsating coral. "Our ship's heart," Zix explained. "It was damaged when we passed through a subspace rift. Now it's dying, and our ship with it." The human team got to work. Maria took samples of the coral-like substance, analyzing its structure. Lai connected his devices to the ship's neural network, trying to understand its unique operating system. Ahmed examined the physical damage, his mind already racing with repair ideas. Hours passed, and frustration grew. The Xerlonian technology was unlike anything they'd ever seen. It seemed to operate on principles that defied human understanding. "It's not just a machine," Maria said, staring at her test results. "It's a living organism, and it's sick." Lai nodded, his eyes glued to streams of alien code. "The neural network is like a brain, but it's dreaming? I can't make sense of it." Ahmed threw down his tools in frustration. "How do we fix something we don't understand?" Elena looked at her team, then at the worried Xerlonian crew. She took a deep breath. "We need to think differently," she said. "We're not just fixing the ship, we're healing a living being." This new perspective changed everything. Instead of trying to repair the ship like a machine, they began treating it like a patient. Maria used her xenobiology knowledge to create a nutrient solution for the coral-like heart. "It's like medicine," she explained to the amazed Xerlonians. Lai stopped trying to reprogram the neural network and instead sent soothing patterns through it, like a lullaby for the ship's mind. "It's responding," he said excitedly. "The chaotic patterns are stabilizing." Ahmed, inspired by the ship's organic nature, used a mixture of traditional repairs and biomimicry. He created patches that would help the ship heal itself over time. Slowly but surely, the Star Whisper began to recover. Its pulsing blue light grew stronger, and damaged areas started to regenerate. Captain Zix was astonished. "This is unprecedented," they said, their scales shimmering with emotion. "You've not only repaired our ship, you've communed with it in a way even we cannot." Elena smiled, proud of her team. "Sometimes, understanding comes from approaching a problem with fresh eyes," she said. As the human team prepared to leave, Zix approached them with a small, glowing orb. "This contains data on our biotechnology," they said. "We offer it as a gift, and as a testament to your incredible abilities." The implications were enormous. Access to Exerlonian biotech could revolutionize human medicine and engineering. Back on the U.S. Fix-It, Elena gathered her team. "Great job, everyone," she said. "But remember, with great knowledge comes great responsibility. We'll study this gift carefully." As the Fix-It pulled away from the Star Whisper, the crew watched the beautiful alien ship glide gracefully back into deep space. They had faced their greatest challenge yet, and emerged with new knowledge and new friends. The galaxy, it seemed, still had many secrets to reveal. And the crew of the U.S. Fix-It was ready to unravel them, one impossible problem at a time. Word of the U.S. Fix-It's incredible success with the Exerlonian ship spread like wildfire across the galaxy. The story of humans healing a living spaceship captured the imagination of countless alien species. Soon, the small human repair fleet found itself overwhelmed with requests for help. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the U.S. Fix-It, watching as a stream of distress calls flooded their communication systems. Her first officer, Jamal, looked worried. "Captain, we can't handle all these requests," Jamal said. "There are too many." Elena nodded, her face serious. "You're right. It's time to call for backup." Within days, Earth's governments had launched a massive initiative. New repair ships were quickly built and crewed. The U.S. Fixer, U.S. Mender, and U.S. Patch It Up joined the USS Fix-It in space. Each ship was filled with Earth's brightest engineers, mechanics, and problem solvers. As the human repair fleet grew, so did their reputation. Alien ships of all shapes and sizes began to appear near Earth, hoping for a chance to be fixed by the miracle workers of humanity. On the desert planet Zorax, the U.S. Mender tackled a massive terraforming engine that had broken down. The Zoraxians, tall creatures with 4 arms and skin like sand, watched in awe as the human crew diagnosed and repaired a machine the size of a mountain in just 3 days. "How do you do it?" asked the Zoraxian leader, his voice filled with wonder. Sarah Wong, the captain of the U.S. Mender, smiled. "We see problems as puzzles," she explained, "and humans love solving puzzles." Meanwhile, in the gas giants of the Plutonian system, the U.S. Patch It Up helped a race of floating gas beings repair their atmospheric regulators. The job required the humans to work in pressure suits that could withstand crushing gravity. "Impossible," the gas beings had said. "No solid creature can survive such conditions." But the human crew proved them wrong. They not only survived but thrived, singing songs and cracking jokes as they worked in the intense pressure. Back on the U.S. Fix-It, Elena's crew faced their biggest challenge yet. A Galactic Council research vessel had accidentally awakened an ancient planet-sized AI. The AI, confused and scared, was causing havoc across an entire star system. "We can't just shut it down," Lai Chen argued. "It's a living being, even if it's artificial." Dr. Maria Valdez agreed. "We need to communicate with it, help it understand the present." For weeks, the crew worked tirelessly. They used the knowledge gained from the Exerlonian biotech to interface with the AI systems. Slowly, patiently, they helped the ancient intelligence understand the modern galaxy. In the end, the AI calmed down. It even offered to share its vast knowledge with the younger races in exchange for help updating its systems. The Galactic Council was astounded. They had expected the humans to simply deactivate the AI. Instead, they had gained a valuable new ally. As news of these successes spread, more and more alien races began to see humans in a new light. They weren't just clever mechanics anymore. They were problem solvers, peacemakers, and bridge builders between different forms of life. Trade routes began to shift, with more ships stopping at human repair stations for tune-ups and upgrades. Some alien races even sent their young to Earth to study, hoping to learn the secrets of human ingenuity. But with this new respect came new challenges. Some older, more established races began to grumble about the rising human influence. They saw the repair fleets as a threat to the galactic status quo. On Earth, Leaders debated how to handle their species' newfound importance. Some pushed for rapid expansion, while others urged caution. Amidst all this, Alina Rodriguez and her crew kept doing what they did best, fixing things. As the USS Fix-It prepared to tackle its next impossible job, Alina gathered her team. "Things are changing out there," she said, looking at each of her crew members. "But our mission remains the same. We're here to help, to solve problems, and to make the galaxy a better place, one repair job at a time." The crew nodded, determination shining in their eyes. They knew that whatever challenges the universe might throw at them, they would face them together, because that's what humans did best. They adapted, they innovated, and they never, ever gave up. As the USS Fix-It blasted off towards its next adventure, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter. The age of human ingenuity had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. The growing influence of humanity in galactic affairs didn't go unnoticed. While many alien races welcomed the helpful humans, others viewed their rapid rise with suspicion and fear. Tensions began to simmer beneath the surface of interstellar politics. On the bustling space station Nexus Prime, a meeting of the Galactic Council was called. Representatives from 100 different species gathered to discuss the human situation. Ambassador Zixthor of the Arcturian Empire, a tall blue-skinned being with 4 eyes, stood to speak. "These humans," he said, his voice booming, "they meddle too much. They're upsetting the balance we've maintained for millennia." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. Gloop, the blob-like representative of the Ooze Collective, bubbled anxiously. "They're learning our technologies too quickly. What if they use this knowledge against us?" But not everyone agreed. Vexera, the insectoid diplomat from the hive worlds, clicked her mandibles thoughtfully. "The humans have shown no signs of aggression. Their help has been invaluable to many worlds, including our own." As the debate raged on, news reached the U.S. Fix-It. Captain Alina Rodriguez frowned as she read the report. "Looks like we've ruffled some feathers," she said to her crew. Jamal, her first officer, looked worried. "What if they try to stop us from helping others?" Alina shook her head. "We can't let fear dictate our actions. We'll continue our mission, but we need to be more diplomatic." The opportunity for diplomacy came sooner than expected. A distress call reached the U.S. Fix-It from a Zoxian mining colony. Their main reactor was failing, threatening to destroy the entire asteroid belt they called home. As the Fix-It raced to help, they received a stern message from the Arcturian Empire. "Do not interfere," Ambassador Zixthor warned. "The Zoxians are under our protection. We will handle this ourselves." Alina knew this was more than just a repair job now. It was a test. She opened a channel to the Arcturian fleet. "With all due respect, Ambassador," she said calmly, "we're uniquely equipped to handle this situation. Let us help. You can observe our every move." After tense negotiations, the Arcturians agreed, but with a condition. If the humans failed, they would withdraw all repair ships from Arcturian space. The pressure was on as the U.S. Fix-It docked with the Zoxian colony. The situation was worse than they thought. The reactor wasn't just failing. It was evolving, incorporating random bits of alien tech it had absorbed over the years. Lai Chen, the computer expert, whistled as he saw the reactor's core. "It's like a technological Frankenstein's monster," he said. Dr. Maria Valdez nodded. "And it's growing more unstable by the minute." For 3 days and nights, the crew worked tirelessly. They battled exhaustion, radiation, and the suspicious glares of the Arcturian observers. Several times, they nearly lost the reactor, but each time they pulled it back from the brink. Alina knew that failure wasn't an option. This wasn't just about saving the Zoxian colony anymore. The future of human-alien relations hung in the balance. Finally, on the 4th day, breakthrough came. Nazari, the inventive engineer, had an idea. "We can't fix it," he said. "So let's guide it. We'll turn the reactor's evolution into a controlled process. Using a combination of Exerlonian biotech and their own innovations, the crew managed to stabilize the reactor. Not only did they save the colony, but they also created a more efficient, self-repairing power source. The Zoxians were overjoyed. The Arcturian observers were stunned. Ambassador Zixthor himself contacted the U.S. Fix-It. "I may have misjudged you, humans," he admitted grudgingly. "Your methods are unorthodox, but effective." As news of the Fix-It's success spread, opinions in the Galactic Council began to shift. Many who had been suspicious of the humans now saw the value of their unique approach to problems. Vexera of the Hive Worlds addressed the council. "The humans have proven themselves again," she said. "I propose we officially recognize their repair fleets and grant them diplomatic status." The motion passed, though not unanimously. Humanity had earned its place at the galactic table, but challenges still lay ahead. Back on the U.S. Fix-It, Elena gathered her crew. "We've won a victory today," she said, "not just for us, but for cooperation between species. But this is just the beginning. We need to prove, every day, that we're here to help, not to conquer." As the Fix-It set off for its next mission, Elena looked out at the stars. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, but also dangers. Yet she felt hopeful. Humanity had found its niche, its way to make a difference. With ingenuity, compassion, and a little bit of human stubbornness, they would face whatever the universe threw at them next. The galaxy was changing. Humans had proven their worth, and their repair skills were now in higher demand than ever. But with recognition came new challenges. Many alien races were no longer content to simply rely on human expertise. They wanted to learn these skills for themselves. On the planet Xylos, a world of towering crystal spires, the Xylosian High Council convened an emergency meeting. First speaker Zenra, her crystalline body shimmering with internal light, addressed her peers. "We cannot continue to depend on the humans," she said, her voice ringing like chimes. "We must acquire their repair techniques for ourselves." Across the galaxy, similar conversations were taking place. The Volcran Hive dispatched swarms of spy drones to observe human repair stations. The Mechanicons of Gear Prime began reverse engineering salvaged human tools. Earth's leaders watched these developments with growing concern. Admiral Chen, head of the human repair fleet, called an urgent meeting with Captain Elena Rodriguez of the U.S. Fix-It. "The situation is escalating," Admiral Chen said, his hologram flickering slightly. "We need to protect our knowledge without appearing hostile." Elena nodded, her brow furrowed in thought. "We can't stop sharing our skills entirely. That goes against everything we stand for." "Agreed," said the Admiral. "But we need to be strategic about what we share and how we share it." As they discussed plans, an alarm blared through the U.S. Fix-It. A massive distress signal was detected, coming from the edge of known space. The source was a Dyson sphere, an enormous structure built around a star to harness its energy. It was home to trillions of beings from hundreds of species, and it was failing. "This is our biggest challenge yet," Elena told her crew as they raced towards the Dyson sphere. "And you can bet every race in the galaxy will be watching how we handle it." When they arrived, they found ships from a dozen different species already there, all trying, and failing, to fix the problem. The sphere's energy collection systems were malfunctioning, causing dangerous power fluctuations. The U.S. Fix-It docked with the sphere's main control station. Inside, chaos reigned. Alien engineers argued in a cacophony of languages, each insisting their method was best. Elena's team got to work. Lai Chen interfaced with the sphere's vast computer networks. Dr. Maria Valdez analyzed the biological impact of the energy fluctuations on the sphere's inhabitants. Nazari studied the failing collection systems. But as they worked, Elena noticed something odd. Some of the alien engineers seemed more interested in watching the humans than in fixing the sphere. "They're trying to steal our techniques," Jamal whispered to her. Elena nodded. Then let's give them something worth stealing. She gathered her team and shared her plan. They would fix the sphere, but in a way that required cooperation from all species present. Over the next week, the U.S. Fix-It's crew coordinated the largest repair effort in galactic history. They assigned tasks to each alien team based on their strengths. The crystalline Tylosians were perfect for recalibrating the energy collectors. The hive-minded Volcrin managed simultaneous repairs across the sphere's vast surface. The Mechanicon's precision was crucial for fixing delicate components. The humans didn't hoard their knowledge. Instead, they taught as they worked, showing each team how to approach problems in new ways. It wasn't easy. There were arguments, mistakes, and moments of near disaster. But slowly, the sphere began to stabilize. On the seventh day, the Dyson sphere hummed back to life. Cheers echoed across every deck, in 100 different languages. As the alien engineers celebrated, Alina gathered her crew. "We did more than fix a Dyson sphere," she said proudly. "We showed the galaxy that our greatest strength isn't our repair skills. It's our ability to bring people together, to cooperate and learn from each other." In the days that followed, the U.S. Fix-It received messages from across the galaxy. Many were thank yous from the sphere's inhabitants, but others were from alien governments, expressing newfound respect for humanity's approach. The Tylosian High Council sent a formal apology for their espionage attempts, along with an invitation for human teachers to visit their world. The Volcrin Queen requested a cultural exchange program. Even the reclusive Mechanicons expressed interest in joint research projects. As the U.S. Fix-It journeyed home, Alina looked out at the stars. The technological arms race had been transformed into something more positive, a renaissance of interspecies cooperation and learning. There would be more challenges ahead, she knew, but humanity had shown the galaxy a new way forward. Not through hoarding knowledge, but by sharing it. Not through competition, but through cooperation. The future, Alina thought with a smile, looked brighter than ever. 5 years had passed since the Dyson sphere incident, and the galaxy was a different place. Humanity's influence had grown, not through force or cunning, but through helpfulness and cooperation. The U.S. Fix-It, now joined by hundreds of other human repair ships, had become a symbol of this new era. Captain Alina Rodriguez stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, a massive space hub jointly built by 20 different species. She watched as ships of all shapes and sizes docked and departed, a testament to the new spirit of collaboration that had swept the galaxy. "Quite a view, isn't it?" a voice said behind her. Helena turned to see Ambassador Zixthor of the Arcturian Empire, once one of humanity's staunchest critics. Helena smiled. "It certainly is, Ambassador. I never thought I'd see anything like this in my lifetime." Zixthor nodded, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "Nor did I, Captain. Your people have changed the galaxy in ways we never expected." Their conversation was interrupted by a flashing light on Alina's communicator. "Excuse me, Ambassador," she said, reading the message. Her eyes widened. "It seems we have a situation." Within hours, Alina was back on the bridge of the U.S. Fix-It, briefing her crew. "We've detected an anomaly at the edge of the galaxy," she explained. "It appears to be a tear in the fabric of space-time itself." Lai Chen, now the ship's first officer, looked worried. "That's way beyond our usual repair jobs, Captain." Alina nodded. "It is. That's why we're not going alone." As the Fix-It approached the anomaly, Alina saw that a fleet had gathered. There were ships from every major race in the galaxy: Arcturian dreadnoughts, Tylosian crystal cruisers, Volcrin highship, and many more. "This is Admiral Chen of the Human Repair Fleet," a voice came over the comms. "Captain Rodriguez, your ship will take point. Everyone else, form up and await instructions." As they neared the anomaly, they could see it clearly, a swirling vortex of energy, growing larger by the minute. Instruments went haywire, and a sense of dread filled the air. "Analysis, Dr. Valdez?" Alina asked. Maria studied her readings. "It's like nothing we've ever seen, Captain. It's not just a tear in space. It's a tear between universes." For a moment, Alina felt overwhelmed. This was far beyond anything they had faced before. But then she remembered all they had accomplished, all the impossible problems they had solved. "All right, people," she said, her voice steady. "We've come too far to back down now. Let's do what we do best. Fix the unfixable." Over the next few days, the assembled fleet worked tirelessly. Each species contributed their unique knowledge and abilities. The Arcturians' advanced sensors mapped the anomaly structure. Tylosian crystals were used to redirect energy flows. Volcrin swarms helped distribute repair nanobots. And at the center of it all was the crew of the U.S. Fix-It, coordinating efforts and coming up with innovative solutions on the fly. It was Li Qian who had the breakthrough. "We can't close the tier," he realized. "But we can stabilize it, turn it into a controllable portal." The idea was risky, but it was their best shot. Using a combination of technologies from a dozen different races, they began to reshape the anomaly. There were setbacks. Twice, the tear nearly expanded out of control. But each time, the united fleet pulled together and brought it back from the brink. Finally, after a week of non-stop work, they succeeded. The violent vortex stabilized into a shimmering portal, a gateway between universes. As the fleet celebrated their victory, Alina received a transmission from Earth. It was the President of the United Earth Government. "Captain Rodriguez," the President said, her face beaming. "You and your crew have outdone yourselves once again. Thanks to you and our galactic allies, we stand on the brink of a new age of exploration and discovery." In the days that followed, the implications of their achievement became clear. The stabilized portal offered opportunities for trade and cultural exchange, not just across their galaxy, but with other universes as well. New alliances were formed. The Galactic Repair and Exploration Coalition was established, with the U.S. Fix-It and her sister ships at its core. As Alina looked out at the portal, shimmering against the backdrop of stars, she felt a sense of pride and excitement. Humanity had found its place in the universe, not as conquerors or mere observers, but as fixers, problem solvers, and bridge builders. The galaxy had changed and would continue to change. But whatever challenges lay ahead, in this universe or others, Alina knew they would face them together. Because that was the human way, tackling the impossible, one repair job at a time. As the U.S. Fix-It prepared for its next mission, Alina smiled. The greatest adventure was just beginning.